Good morning, good afternoon, good night. My name is Myrna Loy and I represent Blackbright News, which is not a newspaper, by the way. I think some people think that when I do these videos, I'm doing it from a place of authority and I have a PhD. Well, they probably know I don't have a PhD, but you know, I don't have a master's degree or a PhD. I'm just a woman looking at things that affect lives, Black lives in particular, and I'm talking out on those subjects. So, you know, I'm not perfect, and I'm open to criticism and I'm open to correction. Just remember, this is just my opinion. So I'm putting that disclaimer out there from the outset. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about China has decided to ban, or they're aiming to ban, rap music from their TV screens, and any actor or any entertainer who has a tattoo, they're not being allowed on their TV screens. I don't know if they're going to be allowed to perform on shows or whatever, because they say it is affecting their young people. Now, I think China was fine, didn't have a problem with it until it started affecting a race of people that are not Black. When it was just affecting Blacks and Black people were, you know, Black young people were destroying themselves and going on the streets and doing whatever, it was fine. But now we have Chinese rappers, and they're seeing how influential it is, and they're seeing it as protest music, they're seeing it as derogatory, they're seeing it as tasteless, they're seeing it as misogynist, and all of these labels they're putting on rap music, and have decided, after the horse has bolted, mind you, to stop rap music in China, or for entering China and being promoted on their TV screens. Now, is that a correct thing to do, or is it a lack of understanding of what rap is? Now, I'm no young person, of course, so who am I to talk? But in order to understand a concept or a genre, you have to listen to it. And I can understand from an adult perspective, all you're hearing is the MF word, you're hearing about hoes, you're hearing about bitches, you're hearing profanities, you're hearing about sex and what sounds like porn. But you have to remember that the women, a lot of the women in these videos and who are partaking in this lifestyle are consenting adults. They're not talking about raping young children. You know, they're not talking about murder. Yes, they talk about revenge and self-defense, and that sounds vicious in their language. But when I was listening to Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, and you know, just to get a feel of what it is they are talking about, what it is they are singing about, what it is they are rapping about. They have a lot of creative expression in their lyrics. I am serious. I mean, I think it was Snoop Dogg that said, you know, his balls are against her chin and he's shooting a story or something like that. I mean, the imagery that they use to express what they're saying. And yes, it is carnal, it is materialistic, it is they voice it in unsavory terms. But that is the language of their experience. And that is the language that their people understand. And yes, our young people, we don't want our young people talking like that or behaving in the way. I mean, for some reason, we feel that music is going to influence the behavior of our young people. But that is not the rapper's responsibility. That is the parent's responsibility, so that if you bring your child up in the right way, they can hear that music, appreciate it for what it is, but they don't have to be drawn into that lifestyle or that cycle. Because if you really do listen to it, I mean, it's storytelling. I mean, Tupac, yes, he was really challenging them to come and, challenging whoever to come and kill him, you know, And they do that with the lyrics. And I know that even in Jamaican dancehall, they do the same thing. They challenge people with the lyrics. The only thing I think with Jamaican dancehall is that they don't actually carry it out. Occasionally, there are a few who take it across the mark. If it's too close to the truth, then they might take there might be some repercussions. But what I've noticed about rap music is yes, it tells a story, but it also tells about the repercussions of the behaviour. It talks about the penitentiary. It talks about doing a century. It talks about all of those things that if you follow that lifestyle, this is what happens. And yes, there might be white powder sprawled across the floor, but they are telling you the consequences if you snort that white powder. So it's not senseless. It seems senseless to the non-understanding ear. But to young people, they're educating them in that lifestyle and saying, yes, if you want bitches, if you want hoes, if you want sex, they're saying you don't even have to love the woman. You know, it's just about getting it off. It's just about getting a release and enjoying whatever it is they're doing. And these are the consequences of this lifestyle. So it's not random lyrics. They're very, very well thought out. And when I listened to them, I was quite amazed. I don't like cursing. I don't like profanities. I don't do it unless in extreme, extreme circumstances. I'd have to be majorly angry to curse. But, you know, I actually appreciated the lyrics once I got past all the profanities and all of those things that I don't like, being called a bitch, being called a hoe, being, you know, as a woman, hearing those things, it isn't nice. But I am not taking those lyrics personally because they're not personal to me. And I'm not out there representing all women and saying ABC. I'm not endorsing their lyrics by any stretch of the imagination. I'm seeing beyond them and to the story. So, does China have a point? What are they saying? They're calling it tasteless, vulgar, obscene. They're saying it's decadence and obscenity should not be permitted, and they're not going to promote anything or anyone whose character is not aligned with morality. That is what they are saying. So what is your view? Do you think rap is destructive? Do you think it has a negative influence on young people? Or do you think it only attracts those who are already wayward, who already feel alone, who already feel alienated, who want to belong to a certain type of lifestyle? Is it appealing to those people who don't have, those young people who don't have, and who feel that this gangster lifestyle, or whatever they call it, can be meaningful? I'll leave that up to you, and that's all for now.